Hi everybody, it's Jenny here. I'm just going to show you the painting today. Today's the final day, I hope, for this commission piece of the beautiful farmhouse from Virginia. And the final parts of this really are going to be important. They are the shadows that create the illusion of the three-dimensional house and the sky, which I'll do at the very end. As you can see today, I've cleaned my palette so I have good clear space to mix my shadow colors and later the blue for the sky. So to get started, here's the photo, or one of them, and as you can see, the different white planes of the house. Some of them have this side has sort of a very pale gray cast. I'll hold it up, see if you can see it better here. It's definitely just a different color and a different level of white from even up under the eaves and the front faces of the house. So it's a different plane, and it turns away from the light. So it's going to be a different color. It is away from the light, as is this plane of the house. That wall turns away from the light. So those I'm going to do first. Now this shadow is a big cast shadow here. I might run it into this shadow and darken this area later. You want to pull shadows together whenever you can into one big shape. You can always go back in after they get dry and add more. So that's generally what I'm going to do. So I think I'm going to start with my smaller brush today because I want to be able to get in between all the little divots and the little holes up in the top of the porch decoration there. This side of the house looks just the barest bit of pink to me, so I'm going to use a little bit of my permanent rose. Get it moving around with plenty of water. Touch a little bit of manganese in there. A little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so here's the edge where the porch turns back. So I'm going to go on and get this little triangle up here because there's a little bit of white going right across this way that I don't want to cover with a shadow. So I've got to think ahead. Got that little bit there. Then I'm going to come down. There's another rail, a post there that's bright white too, so I want to leave that. I've got to think ahead on this. There's that post, so I'm going to leave that. All this is, let's see, I've got a little spot right there I need to suck up with my paper towel. A little bit careless right there. Okay, let's see, I'm going to say this part is about here. Now that's where this is. So I'm going to go on and get some more of this lavenderish color going. I've got my permanent rose, got my manganese, okay, that's a nice lavenderish color. Okay, now I'm going to touch just a few places here. Now there was a post there. I'm going to go on across here. It's another post. Now this goes back a little bit, so I'm going to make these go down just the littlest bit, down that way. Let's see. Now, make this not quite so dark again. Really add a lot of water right here. Okay, so I want to get up in here. Here's this post, but here is shadow. Right up to the edge of the flag. I'm going to get back up in here and come on down. There's that post. Now, let's see, I'm going to go up in here. Alright, so far so good. Okay, let's see. Alright, now, you can see the shadow goes across, running parallel to this line. So, it's about here. Now this plant is out in the sun, so I don't want to go through that. Let's see, I'm going to leave some of that. Going across here. There's that post. I don't want to paint through the post. I'm going to leave that there. Now this had some, this is a shadow of the post, and another shadow of this post coming on down. There are also some little designs from up here showing on the house. Okay, here's another post going back. And this is a cast shadow from up here. So this is in shadow up here. I'm going to have to get that back in a few minutes. Let's see, let's go around this way. I'm going to cast that shadow here. Going kind of underneath. Okay, so I'm going to leave that the way that is. I can always darken that later. Now, up in here, we did this golden earlier. I did it golden. I'm going to add a little bit of this purple, cast shadow up under there. Going to add a little bit here. And here. Now, on this side of the house, over here, I'm going to come down this way with this whole, pretty much this whole side of the house is in more of a shadow. I may darken some of this later, and I might lighten some of it in a minute. I'm going to go in and get this in here though. Leave a little bit right there. I was going to leave a little bit. I think I will. Okay. Now I'm going to touch this a little bit heavy-handed over there, I think. So I'm going to get some of this up right here. Let it be a little darker up towards the, up underneath the eaves, a little bit darker. Okay, now I like that, but I'm going to add a little bit of a glow. let's see, while it's wet, I'm going to just touch it with a little bit of this Quin Gold. Give it a little life back here. Here too. Okay. Okay. Now, I have to let this dry. Those are big puddles. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit like that. Now I'm going to think about the roof a few minutes. Okay. Now, I really want my brush to be at a good point, but I see a little bit of a ridge line there. I'm going to use this, just kind of touch and go there. And then the lines of the roof are really coming down, but this side of the roof is darker than these, so I might use a little bit of a wash here. Okay, I'm going to do that on this roof too, this part of the roof, because it's turning again away from the light a little bit. Okay, drop in some water there. Pull some of this off, just a teeny bit going up this way. Yeah, that's good. Suck some of that up. Let's see. Straighten that up here just a bit. Okay, so those two are good. Now, let's see. Look at my other photo here. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit darker, even though in some of the pictures it's a little different. Some of that up, pull some of this up. Just want a little bit of a change, a plane change. Okay, liking that. And look how pretty that yellow is up in there. It just makes it more fun to look at. It makes it more beautiful. Gives it a little warmth, a little reflected glow from all this orange over here. Okay, now, these sides of the chimneys are also turning away from the light. So I'm going to darken those just a little bit. Let's see, and this side of the chimney, maybe just a little under there, describe it a little bit more. Okay. And this one over here. Okay, let's see. Now, I'm going to keep that paint where it is, but I want to touch a little more, something a little perkier up there. I'm going to use use some of my Scarlet Lake, just a little bit. Touch, touch, touch. Okay, I like the way that looks. While I've got this out, a little bit thicker quality of it, Scarlet Lake. Now see, those azaleas are very cool and they're pink, but I'm going to give them a little warmth. Just a few little dots of this Scarlet Lake. Change it up a little bit, warm and cool. And while I've got this out, I might say, okay, I'm going to kind of give it just a little swipe right there. And that's scumbling, like I mentioned to you before. I'm also going to accentuate these steps just a smidge. There you go. Well, a little too much. I'm going to dab some of that up. Give that one just a touch right there. Okay, that's good. All right. Now, let's see. Where else can I put a little bit more of this to pull my eye around this painting? I'm going to accentuate a few of these branches. Just a little bit. I used some of this here earlier, but I'm put a few more little pieces up there. You almost don't see it once it dries. And then I'm going to go over here. A few little spots. Alright, that's probably enough of that. Let's see, I might give these a little bit more of a dollop. Just a teeny bit. There we go. Okay. I like that. Now, all this has got to dry before I can do the second pass, but there are a few more places I can definitely get in here and work. Now, here's the window. I don't want to do every clapboard on this house, but I'm going to do under the window there. I'm going to do a little bit up here. I'm going to get up here, do that one. I'm going to accentuate that window just a teeny bit there, and maybe I will show a little darkness right there. There's definitely some more darkness there. Let's see. Okay. Again, that's permanent rose and manganese blue. Okay, and I might use some of this. Find some places in the painting other than the house where I could touch some of this purple. Make it more harmonious. I might just get up in here and put some in here. Okay, let's see. Now, I want to look at that other photo a minute. Yeah, the little hut, the little smokehouse. Now, it doesn't have a lot of shadow in that picture, but I'm going to give it a little bit of a shadow because it's going to have the light coming across. All these pieces of foliage are going to get up in there and cast a little bit of shadow, and this is definitely facing away from the light. So I'm going to give it a little shadow. Turn it away from the light. And maybe even give it a little dot there. Why not? Okay. Now, okay, and give a few more of these spots. That was pretty intense when I put up in there, but I actually like that, sort of anchors it. And I think I'm going to just cast a little bit of shadow up on this roof. Maybe there. Okay. Now while this is wet, it's wet, but I want to wait just a minute more. I'm going to wait just a little bit more because I want to go up in here, but I don't want it to run too much. Now, let's see if there's anything else I need to do. I do need to put a little bit of an edge up under there. I need to give this one a little edge. This. Give that one a little bit of an edge. Let's see, now I think I'm going to add a little bit of there we go. That is Quin Gold. Added some into the purple here. Don't want it to be completely grayed out. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Now that's Quin Gold and Scarlet Lake. I'm going to take some of this very gingerly. First of all, I'm going to drop a little bit over here while it's wet. Maybe too much, but I want it to be kind of warm up under there. That part of the house just looks warmer because it's facing the sun. Give this one a little bit of warmth up here. Okay, that's also makes it communicate with around here better. Now, let's put a teeny bit here. Okay, looking good. I'll give it some clear water. Okay. All right, now I want to add a few of these clapboards here. Not too many. Touch and go. Thinking about the angles I've got going here. Okay. All right, I'm going to get up under here. There's a little bit more of a shadow up under there. I'm going to give it a little bit more significance. Okay. Let's see right there. And I'm going to do that here as well. See a little bit more there. Okay. That's good. Now, I see some ridge lines here. Uh-oh. Wet. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get back in there and darken that down. Didn't want that to bleed so much. Okay. Okay. I might give it a little bit more blue. Just a little bit of a blue cast on the roof. Just a little bit over here. Okay, maybe down here too. Yeah, let me get that up in there. Let's see. Okay. Now this is awfully wet. And I really wanted to finish today. Let's see. But I don't know if I'll be able to do it all in one filming here. I may have to come back after this dries and finish and see if I can learn how to splice these movies together. I need a helper. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna suck that up. That's too much the same. Okay. Okay. I'm also going to, while this is going here, I'm going to give the flag just a little bit more oomph down here. And I'm going to give the blue a little bit more intensity here on the star area. Okay, that's good. I might add a few dollops of this blue up in here. Let's see. It's a little bit right there. Okay. Okay. All right, now, that little white spot, I'm going to leave that for now. Okay, I've got to let this dry. I will tell you the next thing I'm going to do after it gets bone dry, I'm going to go back in and add this much darker cast shadow. I'm going to carve into these areas, like right here, and define this a little bit more, even with just a few of the little divots. I'm going to give this a few marks. I may add a few bricks. I might add a little bit more down here. I don't know yet if I'm going to add more cast shadows or if I'm going to splatter. I'm not sure yet. And then at the very end, after it's completely done and dry, I'll do the sky. So it may take me several passes to finish this, but I will try to splice the film together. I really will. I'm going to try to learn to do that today. So thank you so much for watching yet again. This is all going to be in episode 6, the final episode of Beauty in Imperfection. My name is Jenny Fergus, Virginia Fergus, and I am a watercolor painter in Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.